The Monster Hunter franchise has always been big in Japan, and it had found itself a small and passionate audience here in the West. And it's no secret that Capcom were hoping to grow the fanbase in Europe and the US with the newly released Monster Hunter World. And oh my god, have they done that!
Capcom's Monster Hunter World has been out for just a few days, and it's already the fastest selling game in the franchise's 14-year history. The game currently has a score of 91 on Metacritic on the PS4 with 50 reviews, with critics saying it's the most audacious and exciting entry yet. GfK Chart reported that physical sales in the UK were far higher than any of the previous installments, dethroning the previous leader Monster Hunter Generations, released for the Nintendo 3DS. And now Capcom themselves have released the exact figures worldwide, and they're massive. In just 3 days, Capcom have sold 5 million copies of Monster Hunter World around the globe. That's including digital sales. That's more copies sold in 3 days for Monster Hunter World than was sold for Resident Evil 7 for the entirety of 2017. The second best game in the Monster Hunter series, Monster Hunter Portable Third, shipped 4.9 million units since release. Throughout its 14-year history, the Monster Hunter franchise has sold 40 million copies, and now in just 3 days they can add a cool 5 million more to that figure thanks to World. Capcom didn't detail which console the game was most popular on, but here in the UK at least, a whopping 72% of box copies were bought for the PS4, with the other 28% being bought for the Xbox One and its variants. It might be worth mentioning that the game's PC release is still yet to come.
Announcing the news of its huge sales success on its website, Capcom said, quote, "The series has sparked a social phenomenon known as the Monster Hunter craze by introducing a new kind of communication style for players through cooperative play focused on hunting monsters with their friends. This game offers significant innovations to the series, including seamless transitions between map areas, as well as smooth, on-the-fly actions, displayed damage points dealt to monsters, and the ability to join mid-quest when playing online." So this has been a pretty huge success for Capcom, and the company has already laid bare plans for the future. Writing on its website, Capcom said that they will, quote, "roll out further cross-industry initiatives to increase long-term brand value and capture an even wider fan base, such as with a Hollywood film adaptation of the series and the Monster Hunter The Real Attraction currently running at Universal Studios Japan." So it's been massive. It's been an absolute stomper of a game, and there's probably a few reasons for that. It's a culmination of things, I think, and the fact that it's the first big game of the year certainly doesn't do any harm to the game's popularity. People are desperate for something to play. It's also the first big Monster Hunter game to come to PS4, Xbox, the main, kind of mainline consoles in a very long time.
It's got a huge fan base. Word-of-mouth fan base, at least anyway. Critics are also onto it, so whether you listen to critics or you don't, you listen to fans. Either way, there's been a lot of hype surrounding the game. We're loving it. Pretty much anyone who's playing it's loving it. The only people who aren't loving it, I think, are people that have just looked at it online and gone, "Oh, those weapons are well big. This looks shit."
It's the kind of game as well where there's just loads of stuff to talk about. It's a big game, not just in terms literally of how long it takes to play, but there's so much to talk about. There's so many tutorials. It's so tutorial heavy to begin with, so to new players and stuff, and maybe returning players, might find that kind of stuff annoying. And to new players, it's quite a daunting thing, I guess. But then that's what the game is. The game is a huge quantity of different things, different activities to do, different quests to pursue, and not just literally story quests, different things that you have set yourself. When I'm playing a game, I find myself just saying, I want to get that thing for my sword, and that dictates the next 2 or 3 hours of my gameplay then, because I've just set that kind of job for myself in my own head. So there's loads of things to talk about in this game. That's definitely helped it. And I think that's kind of part of the the conversation online. There's so many articles about tips for the game and stuff like that. Capcom have just nailed it. Like they did last year with Resident Evil 7. January is a quiet month, and they just put a big game in the just near the end of that month. Like it does really well. It's great to see them trying to do something different and not just stacking things before Christmas. This has been a huge success, in part because of their timing and strategy and getting it out at just the right time.
With Resident Evil 7 last year, Capcom set a really high target. It was 10 million, and everyone was laughing at that. And I want to know what their target for this game was, but 5 million in 3 days must be smashing anything internally. I know a lot of fans of the series, the Monster Hunter series, who have been playing the game since the PSP days, maybe even the PS2 days, have been saying to their friends, to people online, please buy this game. If you showed us the support in the West, they'll make more games for it. Huge support for Monster Hunter in Japan, but in the West, people were hoping for a result like this, and they got it. So it's great news for everybody involved, really.
So there you go, Monster Hunter World. A lot of people have bought it. Have you bought it? What do you think about it? Let us know down in the comments below. Remember to like the video if you enjoyed it, and please do subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this every single day. Now there's another video right there which you can watch right now if you want, and a link to Patreon if you want to support the channel. See you next time.